Hello, John here again, and here we are outside, and this is episode 2 of my project C64Pi, and as you can see I've got all the bits that I need. So we have the C64, which is there, and what we're going to do is going to take that keyboard out. We're going to use this one. So it's going to be a white keyboard, and what we're going to do, we're going to paint the case. We're going to spray paint the case, and the way we're going to do it is we're going to put some primer on it, and that's the colour of the primer, so it's going to be a sort of red colour, and we're going to let that dry off, and then we're going to put the proper colour on, which is this colour, which is like Ford burgundy colour. So we're going to try and make it look very similar to the Raspberry Pi, the raspberry colour in the Raspberry Pi logo. And then when that's dried, we're going to lacquer it in clear lacquer, so it gives that high polished finish and also makes it hard wearing as well. Now, as you can see, we've still got the power light on and the Commodore label and the serial number on the back. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to mask these things off, yeah, and mask that off, because I don't want to really take them off. We haven't got a strong enough hairdryer to warm it up, so I'm going to mask it off. But I'm going to take the LED out and mask this whole lot off so we don't destroy the labels underneath. But it's going to be an interesting session. So I'm going to get everything set up, and I'll just leave the video recording, and we'll see what we get up to, and I'll see you in a bit. Take care. So I'm going to unscrew the case, take the keyboard out. And as you can see, it's got 3 perfectly good lugs to close the system up. So I've got a pretty good decent case here. So let's take the keyboard out and we'll see where we can go from there. Perfectly good keyboard. So this will be put into my spares, just in case any of my other keyboards go, or if any of the keys go. So let's put that with that. Now the LED normally is pretty easy to get out normally, but we'll see how easy it's going to be, because it looks like that's been melted. So we'll have to see if we can get that out, because it looks like it's been melted just to keep it in place. So I'll have a quick look and see what I can find. There you go, one LED taken out, and not destroyed it in any way. It just needed a little bit of encouragement going over the lip, but it's not been destroyed. It's in perfectly good nick. So I'll put that back on as well, and so it leaves the power like this. So what I'm going to do is see if I can put some masking tape over that and cut it to shape to make sure that I don't go over it. And we'll do this as well. Sorry, we'll do this as well. So that gets masked over as well. So that'll be ready to spray paint. So what I'm going to do is going to spray the outside and the edges, and then just spray a little bit round the edges here, because you don't need to spray the whole lot, but it's just to make sure that when you look down the edges it looks like it's okay. So we're going to see what we can do there. Right, let's see if we can get this stuff masked off. Right, I'll be there in a minute. Right, so I masked it off, and now I thought I'd try and take the labels off. So as you can see, I disappeared and come back with the other half's hairdryer, and I just heated the label up and they came off pretty easy. I was surprised, but the case did get rather warm when I was doing it. There you go. So I've used a hairdryer to warm up the glue, because the case is pretty warm now, to warm up the glue, which has allowed me to get the knife just enough underneath it to be able to prise it off when it was heating. And I've done this side as well, so look, that's all done as well. So I should be able to, I'm not even going to bother masking this when I paint it. So I'm just going to give it a quick wash and then we'll get started on painting it. Right, so I'll see you in a minute. As you can see, I'm just using some kitchen cream cleaner, and I'm trying to get inside the grooves at the moment because the grooves were pretty dirty when I was looking at it, and then just giving the entire case a once over just to get rid of any grease or dust or any other sort of dirt that would affect the paint once I applied it. So as you can see, I'm just still applying the kitchen cream, and you'll see in a bit, even though I masked off that serial number label, the masking tape came back off and I had to reapply it. You'll see that in a bit. Yeah, a bit of a bit of a mistake on my part. Right, so now what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning and getting rid of the kitchen cleaner off the case, giving it a rinse, and then I'll rinse it off on the floor, let it dry, and we'll take it from there in the painting. There you go, masking tape came off the serial number label. Oh, I didn't plan this out very well, but as you'll see, I'm going to reapply it. Here we go, having to do the masking for a second time. I'll be getting good at this, second nature. Oh well. Right, we're going to start the spray painting, and here we go. This is the undercoat going on, first coat, and I'm just using bog standard undercoat paint for cars, as you can see from Halfords. So you're going to have to remember, this is the first time I've ever done this, so if any comments that tell me that I'm doing it wrong, yeah, I will agree with you, because I didn't know. I've never spray painted anything before. So that's the first layer that went on, and then 40 minutes later I came back and I applied the second coat, just to make sure that I hadn't missed anything. Now I've put the two coats on, we're an hour and a half later. I'm going to put the actual colour, the burgundy colour, and spray two coats of that. That's if it needs it. So I'm going to do the first coat first, and then turn it over, do the inside, and then I'll check to see if we need to do a second coat. Right, I've turned them over, and the reason why I've put them on some planks is because the paint that was on the covering that they were sitting on hadn't dried, and because of the heat of the sun, it was just sticking to them like sticky tape. So I decided to get some wooden planks out that I didn't need anymore, and I've laid them on there just to do them. Well, another 40 minutes has gone by, and as you can see, the shadow is slowly creeping across the table, and I needed to do a second coat on the cases because the first coat hadn't quite got everywhere, so I thought I'd make sure by doing a second coat. Hello, John here. Right, it's been let's see, what time is it? It's been a good 4 hours in painting. So we've done 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of the real thing, and it's now 4 hours later. So since I started the first coat, it's now 4 hours since to this point, and we are a little bit sticky, well, but nothing that can't be handled, but it's touch dry and it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Now I can't put the lacquer on yet, so that's what it looks like underneath, so we're not bothered about that. But everything else looks like it's been painted been done properly. So we've got I've got to let the paint dry for 24 hours before I can lacquer it. So I'm going to put it in the room, the conservatory, so the paint completely hardens. And the only blemish on this is we've got 2 blobs where the nozzle was dodgy, and we've got a run there, but I'm not bothered about that. That is, for me, first time I've ever done this painting malarkey. I'm pretty chuffed with that, pretty chuffed, and when I put the lacquer on, hopefully that will hide it even more. So it's looks pretty good, so one thing I've got to do is I've got to get this colour paint in touch up, because if I need to do any work on the case when I start putting everything together, I want to be able to touch it up in the same colour so you don't see the grey underneath it. But so it's took me nearly let's put this down. It took nearly 5.5 hours from start to finish, from cleaning it to dismantling it, cleaning it through it, and we'll see if the weather's okay tomorrow, and if it is, we will put the 2 coats of lacquer on it. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to coat the outside with lacquer. I'm not even going to lacquer the join between the 2 halves, because we don't want to put anything in the way, so it's just going to be lacquer in the top and the bottom. 2 coats, maybe 3, depending on what it's like, and then it's a case of starting to build it. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, take care. See you now. Bye. Hello, it's John again. Right, it's a couple of days later. As you can see, it's a lot cooler than the painting day. Yeah, no sunshine and all that. But they have come out really good. They've had a good 24 hours worth of hardening, and like I say, except for the blotches that happened when I sprayed it and the minor runs there, they have come out really well. So today we're going to apply the lacquer to them to give that glossy feeling. I mean, they've already looked glossy, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, I'm not too sure whether I should take that off and gloss over it, but lacquer over it, but I'm going to leave it because I want the label to be authentic, so I'll leave the mask on there. Right, let's get the lacquer. Here we go, clear lacquer, just normal clear lacquer. Right then, give it a shake, and off we go. Right then, that's coat 1. I think I'm going to do 3 coats of this, just to make sure that the paint's protected. Well, it's looking alright at the moment. Right, so I'm going to let this dry, let this first coat dry, and I'll be back in half an hour. Yeah, half an hour. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Take care. Well, it's been an hour, so I'm just going to check. That looks alright. Yeah. I think we need another coat. Here we go. Right then, we'll give that another half hour before I put the 3rd coat on, and then hopefully that'll be it. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Take care. Right, another hour's been. As you can see, the sun's come out. Looks okay. It's a nice shine to it. So, what's that at the top one? Yeah. Oh, missed a bit there. Right, so it's definitely going to need another coat. Right then, get it out. Right, that looks like the final coat, so give it another hour and we'll see what it looks like. Right then, see you in a bit. Right then, it's been 4 hours since I put the last coat on. Give it a good dry, and it seems to have come out okay. So that's the back. Nice and shiny. You can see my finger marks on it now. And the front, top. Excellent. So, I'm going to see if I can just put the labels back on and see if we can get this back into one piece. Right then, let's get started. So we're going to start with the power supply. There we go, there's the new label for the power supply. I'm going to stick that on, see what happens. There you go, that's put the LED back in place and the first label. So we'll put the second label on. Well, that's the top half done, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the feet back on. Got some new feet, put them on, and then take the masking off the label, and hopefully I've put the masking precise enough that there's no grey showing through and it's just red on the label. So let's see what happens, shall we? Now we're going to replace the keyboard, and we're putting the white keyboard in instead of the original black one, because I think the white will look really good against the red. And that should be almost it, except for some, oh, I think I put the Raspberry Pi logo on it. Yeah, hang on, let's see. So what do you think? White keyboard, nice thing, because shows off the raspberry colour. So put them together. One Commodore 64 Pi. Now there's only one thing missing, and that's this fella. the question is, where does it go? I was thinking there. We can't put it there because of the lip. I suppose we could put it there, but I thought it'd be better to have it just there to let everybody know it's a Raspberry Pi inside. So we'll go with that. That's the case finished. So the next thing we're going to do is put all the internals in, and that'll be in the next video. So I hope this has helped and inspired you to do the similar sort of thing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. So here we are in the cold light of my room, under fluorescent light, and this I thought I'd do it in the room because the sun was still glaring, but this is the end result of the paint job. Sorry for the camera shaking. There you go. One Commodore 64 painted white keyboard, nice gold labels, and a Raspberry Pi label. There's nothing inside it yet because just literally packed everything away, but I thought you might want to see what it looks like. Label's still intact, can't see any of the original colour on it, so I masked it really well, and I'm really pleased with it. So it's going to be the next job is to now start figuring out and laying out everything inside it. So that'll be the next video, where I'm going to lay it out, try and make it as tidy as possible inside, sort out all the minor things that I need doing, like soldering the header to the keyboard interface and stuff like that, and let carry on. So that'll be the next one, but I thought you might like to see it in the cold light of a fluorescent tube, and I think it looks pretty great. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. I'd like to thank all the patrons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.